the feral cat who healed my family and stole my heart. My name is Anastasia, and one of the most unforgettable chapters of my life began on a cold, rainy night in Korea after a painful argument had left my family feeling distant, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted. The atmosphere inside our home felt heavy, and none of us knew how to move past what had happened. Then, as rain quietly fell outside, a small orange cat appeared near our fence, and none of us could have imagined how much that moment would change our lives. He was soaked from head to tail, shivering from the cold, and looked so vulnerable that my heart broke the instant I saw him. I quietly placed some food near the garden and stepped back to give him space. Slowly, carefully, and with obvious fear in his eyes, he approached the bowl. Watching him take those first cautious steps toward us felt like witnessing a tiny miracle. As my husband, my mother, and I stood together watching him eat, something unexpected happened. The tension that had filled our home all day slowly faded away. For the first time since our argument, we were focused on something other than ourselves. We were united by a shared desire to help a frightened animal who desperately needed kindness. The cat started returning almost every day, and before long I gave him a name, Cheese. I was excited every time I saw him, but I quickly realized that he wasn't a typical stray cat. He was semi-feral, deeply cautious around people, and unwilling to let anyone get too close. No matter how gently I spoke to him, he always kept one eye on an escape route. Still, I refused to give up. Every day, I brought him food, talked to him softly, and sat quietly nearby without asking for anything in return. Weeks passed, and I learned that earning the trust of a feral cat isn't about forcing connection. It's about showing up again and again until they begin to believe you're safe. One afternoon, something happened that filled me with hope. Cheese curled up in a sunny spot in our garden, closed his eyes, and fell asleep. It may sound like a small thing, but for a cat who spent every day on high alert, it meant everything. For the first time, he allowed himself to relax. For the first time, he felt safe enough to let his guard down. Just when I thought we were making progress, Cheese suddenly disappeared. Days went by with no sign of him. Then a week passed, then another. I found myself constantly checking our security cameras, hoping to catch even the briefest glimpse of his orange fur. I worried about him every single day and wondered if I would ever see him again. Nearly a month later, Cheese finally returned. It was an extremely hot day, and he looked exhausted, thinner than before, and clearly worn down by life outdoors. The relief I felt was overwhelming. At the same time, I knew I had a difficult decision to make. If I wanted to keep him safe, I would have to bring him inside, even if it risked damaging the trust we had spent months building. My hands were shaking when I finally brought him home. I remember feeling terrified that he would never forgive me. The first several days were incredibly difficult. He hid from everyone, avoided eye contact, and wanted nothing to do with us. All I could do was give him time, respect his boundaries, and hope that one day he would understand that he was finally safe. Little by little, things began to change. Cheese started exploring the house when he thought nobody was watching. Then he began sitting in the same room as us. A few weeks later, he started following me from room to room, quietly observing everything I did. Every tiny step forward felt like a huge victory, and each day brought a little more trust than the day before. Months passed, and our bond continued to grow stronger. One day, I gently touched his paw, and from that moment, everything began to change. Little by little, Cheese learned that human hands could offer comfort instead of fear. Then, after 282 long days of patience and trust, he finally climbed into my lap and curled up against me. The frightened, feral cat who once ran from every human interaction had become the sweetest companion I could have imagined. Cheese taught me that love takes time, and if his journey touched your heart, please like and subscribe to support more rescue stories like his.